What are things people take way too seriously? Social media. I've got a friend whose entire life is her Instagram. She's got around 5k followers. And every conversation revolves around a DM she got, or a page that followed her, or a brand that want to sponsor her. She spends all of her money on designer items that she can't post more than one picture of or it ruins her brand, whilst living entirely in her overdraft and on maxed out credit cards. She lives in a fantasy land. She thinks she's buying a house this year, when I've had to sub her for lunch money before because she has literally nothing left, despite not paying rent or bills. Reddit. Dude. You're on Reddit. We don't say that on Reddit. We say that on Twitter. Facebook. It literally ends friendships and drifts family members. Themselves. Their importance to others. Expired coupons. You missed the deadline. Move on and stop screaming obscenities at the cashier. Honestly, many times I just ask them if there's any other available or just accept the situation and they hook me up anyways. Crazy what being amicable can get you. But the louder I scream, the more it changes the terms and conditions of the coupon. Too bad some stores the customer is always right no matter what, even when they clearly are not. The Oscars, Emmys, etc. The huge ratings drops over the past few years suggest award shows are a dying breed, and it's not strictly due to politics. Award shows have been political for decades. Back in the 1970s you had some actors refusing awards to push political agendas. It's more just because the whole concept is outdated and not necessary anymore. I used to appreciate the Grammys from an industry standpoint, but it lost its appeal for me long ago when I learned most major awards are essentially bought. Hoas. I swear. Give any random idiot a modicum of power over something and they regress into a dictator. There are only two types of people that ever run hoas. Absolutely miserable assholes who can't wait to wield every scrap of power they have obtained in order to feel some minuscule ounce of control in their wasted useless life. People who had to deal with the first kind and ran against them. Our HOA board is actually pretty chill since we are all residents. The guy our HOA management company pays to check the yards though. That person loves to write notices in the pettiest shoot. The board basically ignores 75% plus of it though. Being first in line, or cutting in front of you in traffic to literally be one car ahead. I love it when people do this to me, then take 10 years to get off their phone after the light turns green and fricking drive. People who line up to board their flight when they're zone 1 million and they just called zone 3. Just to get in the way and confuse everyone who is in zone 3. Coherent musical tastes. Especially in some music communities. You can be a Satyricons fan and still enjoy Britney Spears songs. We analyzed Britney Spears' Toxic in both my music theory and form and analysis class in undergrad. It was really cool. Yeah, getting whiplash from a Spotify shuffle going from depressive black metal to synthwave using samples from Morrowind is what I'll live for. Social media and anyone who is like first on a YouTube video. Just, no. I like to arrive years late to YouTube videos and write first and then wait for people to call me stupid. I don't know why, but it really tickles me. If people actually refresh their page and wait to post first, that's pretty sad. Although I do think that most people who post it just realize there aren't any comments and feel obliged to post something but have nothing to say. If you're offended by this, you might be taking yourself too seriously. Online video games. I can't recall all the hate messages I have gotten from games such as Dead by Daylight and Red Dead Online. DBD is the worst. When you get 4K as a killer, then people message you calling you a skill-less piece of shoot. It's just like UHH. I played a killer and my goal was to kill. WTF you want us to do? I keep all the chat turned off in multiplayer games so I can just relax and enjoy them. Much better that way. Kids' birthday parties, balloon. Graduation ceremonies for kindergartners. Those can frick off. Reddit replies. You take that back. 1. Whenever possible. Disable inbox replies. 2. Never pursue a thread more than 2-3 levels down. Sports. It's a game, damn it. They're FCKN zodiac signs. I don't care if you're an Aries or a Taurus or whatever. Both my ex and my mother got really into their zodiac signs at the same time and it drove me nuts. That's such a Capricorn thing to say. You're a sign, aren't you? I like to see how they run with it and act like they know all about me because they think I'm a Scorpio or whatever. Anything on the internet. Mostly discussions about video games or characters in video games. Some dude threatened to kill me and one of my friends over a Mario Maker trailer, I kid you not. For the past few hours, I have been knee-deep in looking at discussions about the different Spider-Man movies since I've rewatched the Raimi movies and have been on a Spider-Man fix. Holy smokes. It's so toxic. Internet discussion, or really, it turns into online fighting, can be so emotionally and mentally draining. I've got to distance myself from it time to time. Language. Like parsing everything looking for offense. Yep. I've got a few guys in my WoW guild constantly correct how I say things. And the thing is, it's not even anything crazy, they still understood what I said. I just pronounced one part differently. Drives me freaking nuts. I work with somebody like that. As somebody who makes a sincere effort to be inclusive in my language, I am astounded as how somebody can find offense in even the smallest thing, often relying on fallacious folk etymology to justify their taking issue of certain phrasing. She insisted the term "the peanut gallery" was racist because it refers to black people, as black people were associated with peanuts. The term actually comes from the audience at the back row of minstrel shows and the like. They were the cheapest seats, and peanuts were the cheapest snack, and those crowds were often boisterous. Sounds cheesy, but life itself, it isn't a race. It's a marathon. It's already hard enough and challenging. Why not try your best to enjoy the experience while chasing after what you like? Happiness. It isn't a race. It's a marathon. I get what you're saying, but a marathon is a race. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. Online video games. I can't recall all the hate messages I have gotten from games such as Dead by Daylight and Red Dead Online. I used to take those messages personally. Nowadays, whenever I find a player like this, I make it a mission to troll them as much as possible. I do love me a bit of cheeky banter in Dota 2. When people are enraged, it's easy to make fun of them. Being first on or off a plane. People that crowd the luggage belt. Why can't they just stand back and grab their bag when it comes out? I never ever stand up until the row ahead of starts getting their shoe together. What's the point?